Hi Virgo, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Virgo, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. Your key to the week this week is the Temperance card. You are checking in with your alignment, my dear Virgos, but also the Temperance card can sometimes bring drama. And I'm going to say to you this week, this might be like, in my mind's eye, the way that I see it is it's like you'll be stood there and some crap will just kick off in front of you and you'll be like, is anybody else seeing this? Like, this is a week where I truly invite you, and you guys tend to be really good with this kind of thing anyway, but I kind of feel like this might be where some crap kicks off and you're going to have two options. You allow yourself to get sucked into it, or just kind of stand back and say, not my monkey, definitely not my crowd, or not my circus, not my monkey, whatever it is. Like, this is about you really kind of saying, actually, you know what, I'm going to step back from that because it actually has nothing to do with me, and I'm really not interested in taking sides between things or people that quite frankly are grown and should be acting better. All right, so this is going to be a moment at which you're having to really maybe distance yourself from something. It also suggests as well, if you do get pulled into something this week, you're having to check in with your own energy and your alignment to ask yourself, why is this showing up for me, and where is it that I'm inviting it or feeding into it? When it comes to, for those of you that are continued subbies, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button for your actions and options. You got the Four of Wands. This is great, right? So you've got the Temperance card here. This looks like you are either holding an event or you are attending an event. So this thing that kicks off might be literally, this has happened to me before once actually. I think it was just outside the tubes. I was like, hey, listen, y'all can beat each other to a pulp, get on with it, but please do not involve me. I was just stood there like clutching my pearls. So like, it looks like you're having a lot of fun. You've got an invite to an event of some sort, so you're showing up, you're having a great time. This may also be an event where you are connecting with or aligning with people that are you know, like with people that really get you. Like, this could be tribe energy, like where you're really having a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, a lot of giggles, and then all of a sudden something happens and you're like, yeah, I'm not getting involved in any of that. It could also be where you realize that there is an element within a group, a community, or, you know, maybe even in or at this event that doesn't really sit right with you. And it's about finding a way to kind of be there and let that happen, but not let it take over things. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Eight of Cups with the Temperance card. For a lot of you, this could be a week where you're having a conversation to excuse yourself from something. So this might be a moment at which you kind of say, look guys, you know what, I understand you don't get on, but I'm really not interested in this argument. Thank you, but no thank you. It could also be where you're going against the grain with something and kind of, maybe not necessarily forging your own path, but definitely stepping out in a new direction. For those of you that are studying or in any form of academia, this might be where you start to realize that the path that you're on or the studies that you're doing, it's not so much that the subject isn't for you, but maybe the way that it's being taught, or maybe the way that you are, or maybe even some of the people that you're having to connect with through that thing, through that entity, through that, you know, body of work, let's say. Maybe it just doesn't sit with you. The other thing with the Eight of Cups as well, this is for those of you that are employed by somebody else, this is going to see you really looking at where maybe like you can sympathize with somebody. So the way that I feel this might happen is someone at work or in the office kicks off about something and you're like, you know what, all right, I don't agree with the way that they're doing this, but actually there's a lot of truth to what this person is saying. And so you're going to have to find a way to either, you know, it might be a case of you can't sort of say that you agree with that and not be associated with the whole dramatics of the whole thing. So this is something that you're going to have to look at. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, you're so for a lot of you, this could be where you're drawing a line with an employee or a collaborator, somebody that you work with or alongside, or somebody that works for you. This might be a time where you're having to say, look, you know what, maybe it's been too friendly up until this point, and so we're having to put that professional buffer back in some way. Especially with the Temperance card here, because it's like something is out of whack and it's needing to be brought back in quickly before it becomes a real problem later. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, I actually feel like this is a spiritual message for you guys, and I feel like this is a time where maybe some of you decide to take a spiritual journey of some sort, and it's like, you know what, this part of my life or this chapter of my life has come to a close, and now I'm ready to start embracing a more spiritual way of life, or at least starting to explore that part of me or my path more than ever before. For your love and relations, you've got the Harvest card. So in this deck, it's the Harvest card, but in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, this is the Judgment card. You've got this with the Four of Wands. For some of you, that's a surprise event that's happening, maybe a surprise birthday party. Obviously not yours, wrong time of year, unless you're, you know, this is your ascendant or your moon. But yeah, it looks like there's a surprise party or a surprise get together of some sort, that's some kind that's taking place, which is great. You've got this for those of you that are single. If you are meeting someone this week, I'm going to tell you that straight up, this is somebody that has a very strong sense of spirituality. Maybe not necessarily religion, but this is somebody that very much has a grasp on the spiritual or intangible world, which is nice. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, this is a doubling down on the enjoyment factor, and I actually feel like a lot of you are on this kick at the moment. It's like, no, life is meant to be enjoyed. Yes, we can work hard. Yes, we can, you know, do everything else that needs to be done, but ultimately, are we enjoying our lives? Are we enjoying the time that we're spending? Then finally, because it is the heart or the Judgment card, basically, I almost want to say, like, for a lot of you, relationships across the board are taking on a much deeper significance from here on in. For your money and materials, you've got the Four of Swords. Hold off on any big purchases this week. And especially because you've got this under the Eight of Cups, this could be impulse spending, right? Like you feel some kind of way about something, or all of that drama was too much. I'm going for some retail therapy, which is great. Before you know it, you've maxed out the credit card. Find something else that's going to soothe you that doesn't require money, because you could go overboard this week. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, your Four of Swords is going to be your kidneys, your liver, and your waterworks, basically. So, and yeah, because you've got the Eight of Cups and the Temperance card, this could be a week where looking after, you know, what you're ingesting in liquid form, paying close attention to that could actually be very beneficial for you. I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice. When it comes to your home and environment, the Four of Swords suggests that you're wanting more peace, relaxation, and calm. You've also got two fours here. Two fours represents insomnia. Sleep may not be your friend this week, or you might not be sleep's friend. But to be honest with you, you're having such a good time. You know, even with all of the other stuff that's going on, I kind of feel like, you know, you might not feel it this week. Maybe the onset of that kicks in next week, and you're kind of like, okay, you know what, now I need to catch up on my Z's. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.